Bonsoir. Je m'appelle Mateusz. Je suis Sylius core team member. And that's everything that I can do, but that's my best. So one more time, thank you very much, Loic, for invitation. Thank you very much for all of you, because like we saw in the last years, and like we saw especially in the last half a year, community is really the biggest strength of Sylius. And this project, no matter what we will do, how many commits would Loic do, it will be nowhere if not the community. So I really like to ask you for the applause for yourself, because you are the great guys here, and I'm only the one. So yeah, so developing Sylius, it was quite a journey for last years. I already know that I'm not totally not gonna make it in 25 minutes, but it's good because I'm the last one. So yeah, as Mikołaj already said today at the beginning, it's really good to take a look at the history, to be able to see the present correctly, and maybe think correctly about the future. So what I would like to talk about on this presentation, I would like to present you at least a little bit a historical background of the Sylius core team and its current state, and what is the possible future. Obviously, the future is never set in stone, so everything can change, but it will be our perspective. By our, I mean core team perspective. And obviously, after the presentation, you have me, you have Loic, you have Mikołaj, you have all of the people really close to the Sylius to ask us about our views, our perspective for the future. So let's start. Okay, so the past. I wanted to say that everything started in 2013. Like probably it started a little bit earlier, but 2013 is the time when actually some kind of core team evolved and been in Sylius, and like the first core team was totally external from outside of Sylius company. There was a good reason for that. There was no Sylius company. Yeah, so just the question for you: who knows that? Who was in the first core team, except Paweł, of course, because Paweł was in the first core team. I have a list here because I totally don't remember.
Camille?
No, Camille was a little bit later. Yeah, the first guys was Vinzu, the guy from the State Machine bundle. It was Sasha Stemenkowicz. It was Józef Bielawski, Arnold Langlide, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, and Kaiwe Young. So these were five guys plus Paweł. They were doing making a core team, the first core team. And obviously, because there was no Sylius, there's no company behind Sylius, it was strictly open source based. And it was not worse, it was not better, it was different than it is right now. And it was a totally necessary step for Sylius to evolve and to be what it was meant to be. 2014, this is the time when me and Łukasz joined Sylius, and in fact it was not Sylius, like we joined working with Sylius, but we joined a company called Lakion, who Mikołaj was also talking about that. So this was the first software house, the first agency that was behind Sylius, backing up Sylius. And it was the time when the first company and the first organization of the core team and organization of community started to happening. So it was really amazing few years in this company, but yeah, in 2017 there was let's call first split in Sylius as a project. So Sylius company was set up. So a lot of people from the first company left it and started to do Sylius as a company. So this was the first company that was named Sylius, it was backing Sylius and was doing some projects on top of Sylius, but not for too long because really quickly decided to skip doing projects and start doing some proper product work. And it was a good decision generally because we wanted to be as focused as possible to making the proper product development. Yeah, and when we started to make this Sylius company, there was a totally internal core team this time. It was me, it was Łukasz, Grzegorz, who is still in the core team, and Kamil, who you probably also know. Yeah, so what are the good parts and bad parts of internal core team? The biggest difference is that when we are having the core team inside, we can make decisions a lot easier, obviously. It was the time when we all thought that working remotely is not possible, like the future or our current past changed this view, obviously, because of reasons. Yeah, so we thought that it would be definitely better to have all of the people from the core team in one company, in one city, in one office to make this decision easier and faster. But on the other hand, the problem was that we were starting to be a little bit hermetic with our views, and that's the obvious the obvious consequence of such an approach. And it worked pretty well for like few years. And at the beginning of 2021, at the middle of 2021, we started to think that maybe it's the highest time to enrich core team with some more people. So we decided to create something that we called the hybrid core team, and beside all of the people that were there before, so Łukasz, me, and Grzegorz, because Kamil already left the company, we have 3 more people. We have our beloved Loic, we have Victor Vasilov, and we have Stefan Lekok. So these are the 3 guys that are helping us being the co-creating with us the Sylius core team until this day. Some more background on 2022. There was a first Sylius Con and really amazing conference. We were able to finally meet each other, at least some of us. It was a great opportunity to finally see that there are some real people in the core team, not only some avatars in the internet. Yeah, and like the most recent history at the end of the last year, some of us decided to leave the Sylius as a company, but really important thing as a company, but not as a product, as a project. Yeah, it's a little bit emotionally, as you can expect. Like, for those of you who knows me, you know that I was pretty emotionally attached to Sylius for a long time, and I'm still. But yeah, that was the step that we decided, for reasons that we decided that we need to do. So here we are in the present day. And what we have right now is it good? Is it bad? I think it's quite good. It's getting better, even though there is an obvious disturbance in the community after the what was seemed like a radical moves of core developers leaving the company. In fact, Sylius right now is at its highest popularity. Like I have some statistics here that we reached at the moment the average daily installs of 3,500. So that's a lot, and that's the highest, like the peak of the installations for forever. We still see the huge potential in this project. That's why we also stayed in Sylius core team. We see a huge potential in cooperation with new people in charge in Sylius, so with Mikołaj and Damian and all of the team from Sylius that stayed in the company. Our perspective for this last half a year, which was hard, but also challenging, but also really inspiring, is that all thing that we did was to not harm Sylius as a product and not to harm community, And we really believe that doing the things that we done, we achieved that goal, and that the community right now can grow stronger, can grow better, and can be even better in the future. Yeah. So future. Obviously, the future is something that is unknown, but we have some plans as a core team, and we have some plans as like community members. And obviously, Sylius company also has its own plans that we already a little bit know. So I would not lie to you, like it will be a challenge because for the time that we were in Sylius company, everything was easier. Yeah, with the whole core team, almost whole core team was, let's say, the core of the core team was in Sylius company. So even though we had some people from outside of the Sylius company, it was easy to evolve over the project because everything was set up in the one entity. Obviously, right now this is a little bit different. Yeah, because we have the Sylius company, we have Sylius core team as something almost separate from Sylius company. Yeah, and all of us are in our own agencies or companies that we are doing things. So definitely it will be challenging, and we already spoke with Mikołaj and with Damian regarding the potential cooperation or the things that we can do as Sylius core team to like just make Sylius better and better, because at the end this is everything that we care right now. Like we really need to make Sylius better and better, and really ensure everyone that this is the best open source e-commerce solution in the world. Yeah. Yeah, so we have some opportunities ahead of us. We have some challenges. We have some perspectives what we could do. So first of all, core team. We definitely would like to invite some more people to the core team. We already have some guys that would like to join and that needs to join us. If you are looking at Sylius repository, you probably already know Jakub or Jacob and Jan. These are two guys that are still working in Sylius company and are doing great stuff. We totally would like to invite, and we actually already invited them to Sylius core team. The one other guy, Francis, will also join the Sylius core team. I asked him before. I asked him before the meetup, like, have already Łukasz told you that we would like to invite you to the Sylius core team? And he said, yeah, of course, and I accepted it. And I said, yeah, because it would be strange if we get know about that on the presentation, but maybe it would be a nice surprise. I don't know. Yeah, but definitely these are the three guys that we already invited the Sylius core team, and we did it because we think that right now we need even more perspectives in Sylius core team. We need even more people that will be able to take some responsibilities for them. And this is the second thing that we really need to take care of, and we like to make some commitment about that. The clarity about the responsibilities. For the time right now, Sylius core team was a bunch of people that were generally taking care about Sylius. That's all. We don't know yet how we will split these responsibilities, because obviously it's not possible to split it like everyone will be responsible only for one specific bundle or one specific thing, because all of us want to just to make Sylius better and evolve Sylius and develop it. But some kind of responsibilities are quite obvious. I give you a few seconds to guess. For example, for what bundles can Loic be responsible for? Obviously, it's a mailer bundle. No, obviously, it's a resource and grid bundle. Yeah. We have Victor, who is really not really involved in development, but it's really involved in support, and he could just be explicitly responsible for the support for the Sylius community members. Francis has been doing a great work regarding the payment support, so he can help us with that. Jakub has already done some pretty good stuff regarding the plugins ecosystem development, so it is another possibility. I talk about possibilities and about the perspectives because, as I already said, not everything is set in stone. Almost nothing is set in stone. So everything that I talk about right now can be a complete lie after the month or something. But we will really do all what is possible to not make it this way, and to make it happen. The other thing was that even though there were people outside of the Sylius company in Sylius core team, there was a little bit of it was not clear actually how to merge properly pull requests in Sylius and Sylius bundles. The problem was that we were using some really fancy tool to merge, to do automatic change logs, automatic thank you post after the merging. So it was really cool, but setting it up for other people and making it work because it was not reliable at all was a little bit too much. And definitely we will move forward with that and make some proper merging rules to make everyone be able to merge proper pull requests. And this way we will make it even faster and even better in the future. Sylius 1.13. So this is the next version of Sylius, obviously. And what will be there, we don't know exactly yet. We have some plans, obviously. Definitely the first plan is to release it around the 3rd of November. You already saw that date today. Yeah, so it's not accidental as you can expect. Generally, regarding Sylius 1.13, we would like to make some kind of the support to what we right now call resource 2.0. We already know something about resource. Yeah, so you already saw something like this. It's not it's not exactly the same, but it will be something like this. API platform. So we also know something about API platform. We already had a speech from the guy from API platform. And as if you've seen the work that we did on Sylius repository for the last almost 3 years, like it's a really long time. Really long time before we started to work on Sylius API, a new Sylius API. We call it new Sylius API, but it's not so new, like it already had like 3 or 2 years old. Yeah, but our approach right now is to definitely in Sylius 1.13 give the support to API platform 3.0 while keeping still support for 2.7 and generally making Sylius closer and closer to API platform, because obviously right now it's the second most important dependency of Sylius after Symfony. Regarding Symfony, we also thought a lot about making Sylius closer to Symfony. We are already doing a lot of things, and we have been doing a lot of things in the past. There was a time, I remember it was like 7 years ago. I don't remember when, but it was a long time ago, when we decided that we will be doing Sylius releases aligned with Symfony releases. It didn't work. It didn't work well because Sylius were in this moment were in a really heavily developing phase, and we just needed more releases than we could do if we will be aligning it with Symfony releases. But right now, this is something that this opportunity opens one more time. Sylius is much more stable. Like 1.13 is pretty stable. So maybe this is another thing that we can do to make Sylius closer and closer to Symfony. We are already also doing some things regarding the support for Symfony workflow. In fact, it's already working. Like it's obviously we are, because of that, saying goodbye to our good old friend Vinzu State Machine Bundle, but I think that this is inevitable. It just needs to be done. Also, you can guess who was responsible for some reorganizing the fixtures with SenseTrack Foundry, but it was obviously Loic. He's a crazy guy. Like he's not doing anything more than only coding Sylius, and I don't know what Akawaka are you paying for. Really, like I'm really happy that you are doing a lot of these things. Yeah. Regarding being Docker first, this is something that already arose in Sylius community for a while. And we were talking about being Docker first for already like a year or two. Nothing happened in this specific area. There's a good reason for that, because we are not using Docker too much. And I know that this is strange, because like it's the obvious tool for the modern developer. But the problem is that when we started to work with Sylius, by me, I mean me, Łukasz, and Grzegorz, and most of the core team from Sylius company or from Sylius company before, it was not so obvious to use Docker, and we just get used to not using it. But we totally understand that this is really, really important, and would like to change that. We also started to work or started to talk with Bunny-Shell. This is the company that will provide for Sylius the environments for pull requests that will be able to automatically build pull requests on the server and be able to manually test the proposed changes on the server, which can be pretty cool, especially for more advanced features. Yeah, Sylius UI. For a long time, and it's still visible that Sylius was done mostly by backend guys. Like really, for a long time, we didn't have any front end in our company, yeah, and this is definitely visible, because even though I personally don't have any problems with semantic UI, I really say that I don't have problems with that, but I also don't have problem with jQuery. So maybe I'm not the best guy to judge that. Yeah, but generally we see this need in the community to finally do something about that. There's a nice thing that we could do. It's an option still, not something that is set in stone, but I would like to share that because this is an option that is quite promising. There is a tool that is called Sylify, and this is the project that is revamping the Sylius admin panel with Bootstrap, which is cool because Bootstrap is definitely more cooler than semantic UI. It has also a really good thing with Bootstrap. It's alive. Yeah, much more alive comparing to semantic UI. What is really good is also that this tool is generally backward compatible to what we have in semantic UI right now. So you can quite easily change the current admin panel based on semantic UI to this based on Bootstrap. So this is an option that we are right now thinking about. Yeah, and obviously there is also Sylius 2.0 that we also touch this topic on today's presentations. And Sylius 2.0 is the topic that we have never wanted to make it happen as problematic as was Sylius 1.0. For those of you that are for a long time already with Sylius, you probably know that before we released the Sylius 1.0, it was like a lot of think about, is it the proper time right now? Maybe not, maybe next year, maybe next month, maybe something like this. And when we finally released Sylius 1.0, we said to ourselves, great, right now we will be releasing new major releases every 2 years or every year. And obviously it didn't happen because it was already like 6-7 years ago. Yeah, a lot of time. Yeah, so the optimistic plan right now is to release some kind of Sylius 2.0 on the same date as Sylius 1.13. Obviously, yeah, it's an optimistic plan, but I think that it is in some point doable. This is really funny because we used code to present something, so we can laugh right now. So yeah, so the general idea for Sylius 2.0 is not to make in any kind of revolution, because it will definitely not came out in 3rd of November or ever probably. The first thing that we need to do, we need to take Sylius 1.14 and remove all the deprecations and all of the code smells and everything like this that we can find, to make just Sylius 2.0 cleaner, better, and from the technical point of view, something that would be not a revolution, but totally an evolution with dropping support of some things that we don't want to support anymore. Yeah, there are some things that we also would like to do with our file structure. If you already know that Sylius is generally based on some really, I would not say old, but traditional file structure based on some things that were cool in Symfony ecosystem like 8 years ago, but are not anymore. So this is something definitely that we need to take care of, and to make it more modern and make it like a proper application from the 21st century. Yeah, I know that I already ran out of time, sorry. I'm really doing my best. Sylius 3.0, so it can be unexpected because we just talked about Sylius 2.0, but this is also something that we would like to make some kind of commitment. We don't want to make any more over promises that we did before. Like, we would like to commit right now that when we release Sylius 2.0, we would like to make ourselves 2 years for releasing the Sylius 3.0. This is, again, quite optimistic, but if we decide that it will be 2 years, maybe it will be 2.5 or 3 years, and everything will be better, at least better than with Sylius 2.0. Moving forward, because yes, I know that we're getting out of time. Documentation, was talking about making some proper moves to improve the documentation. The tool can be great, but the documentation is really something that that we need to take care of, because at the end, the tool is only as good as the documentation behind it. Yeah, not only about the documentation itself, but also about the user guide that needs to be created in some kind of some point of the future. There are a lot of people that are asking about that, and we'll also be talking about it for at least, I think, 2 years to make it happen. We would like to make some good documentation for the API, even though the documentation of endpoints that we have generated by API platform is really good for developers, but it would be nice to make it a little bit more explicit for the people that are not really in common with API platform. About the transparency in the Sylius core team, I talked about it with Loic and with other guys a lot today, because this is really something that we need to take. Like, we're already quite transparent as Sylius company and as Sylius core team. At the end, we are open source project. There is no point to not be transparent, but we would like to make it even better. We would like to make explicit about what right now we are working on, what are our goals, where do we need help, so you will be able to help a little bit. Like, it's the power of community that we need to take care of. Yeah, so we would like to communicate loudly and clearly what are we going to do in the nearest days, months, and weeks and months and years. Yeah, just to give everybody this impression that you are the part of the team, because you are the part of the team. Yeah, so one of the ideas is to create an open effort boards on GitHub. Right now, for example, we have the board that is used for maintenance, so we are just using it to schedule the issues and pull requests that we would like to maintain on the maintenance sessions. And this is private, and I don't know why. Like, there is no point in making it private, because it would be even better for you as a community to know what we are going to triage in the nearest future. Okay, of course we will talk about the community, but this is everything that we will be talking. I was talking about. We will be taking care about, hopefully taking care about the quicker feedback loop. Maybe because of making the core team larger, maybe because of making it more transparent, we will be able finally to improve the communication with the community. In this specific, with these things, we would like also to engage more you, because right now we probably saw for the last years that even though Sylius is an open source project and it's great, actually most of the contributors comes from Sylius core team, from Sylius company, and this is reasonable. Like it's something that probably will always be true, but we would really like to make some undertakings to make you as community more engaged, to make it again feel you more as part of the team. We already touched that, like the plugin process, sorry for my language, sucks. And I can tell that, I can say that because I was the one that was responsible for that. Yeah, and there are some problems regarding the plugin review process. There is also a really big problem that for a long time I was the one guy responsible for that, and it didn't help. And I really hope that in the nearest future we will be able to make it smoother. We already started with some changes. We released, you don't see too much, but this is the new plugin starter that was just released in the Sylius community. It's much more automatic regarding, it's making a lot of automatic changes when you install the plugin. I really think that if we make some kind of automatization regarding the some configurations to make plugin automatically installable, it would be even easier for us to review the plugins that are submitted to Sylius store. I would like to ask for questions, but we have no time for questions, so you will ask some questions when we will be drinking beer. Yeah, and at the end, I would like to thank you. Obviously, I would like to thank you, Loic, one more time. I would like to thank everyone who is involved in Sylius and even is not in this room, because you are amazing guys. And yeah, we are here for you. And thank you, because you are the rock stars. Thank you.